We are always in battle. It is only that some of us do not realize it. A bard named Marjolaine once told me that. I heard she met an unfortunate aunt in Farrin. Isn't that sad? Nightingale.
Welcome, Inquisitors. My name is Ash. What I just narrated was not fanfiction, but the words of Empress Celine from the upcoming Dragon Age book, The Masked Empire by Patrick Weeks. Amazon recently provided a rather generous excerpt from the unreleased book, introducing readers to the progressive Empress Celine, a woman leading a cultural revolution in her nation, socially promoting the enlightened and skilled, not just among the nobility, but also the commoners and, to the distress of several people, elves. The chapter is an introduction of many things. New characters we know and love, Orlais, the nation itself, and of course, the game. Sadly, as of Monday night, Amazon disabled the ability to preview the chapter. A fourth of the originally released excerpt is still available on the main page. However, 2 sites, as of this recording, still have the chapter up to read: Macmillan and Powell's Books. Their individual links can be found in the description below, if they still work. But at the very least, let me acquaint you with some characters you will see in The Masked Empire. Empress Celine is the first. Her radiance is in her late 30s, approximately 36 years old. She's very devoted to creating a better, intellectually more cultured nation. We learn quite a few things from her in the first chapter. While she became empress at the young, tender age of 16, she was trained as a bard. She developed a relationship with her handmaiden and eventual spy, Briala, a female elf who has long tried to improve the situation of her people in Orlais. Of course, elves are still not kindly looked upon in Orlais. However, her position allows much flexibility against those who oppose her. Sir Michael de Chavannes is the Empress's champion, a rather large, quiet type who is very diligent to his duties. As stated in the book, he has no care for the game. However, he plays it as much as anyone in the service of the Empress is required. In opposition, we have the Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, lord and most respected among the Chevaliers. In war, he is the best. He feels that under Celine's leadership, the nation cannot protect itself, spending too much time cozying up to Ferelden and the Chandri. He sees himself as a true nationalist and patriot to Orlais, wanting to keep and strengthen the nation back to its imperial roots. Other characters that current Dragon Age fans will recognize are Liliana, still acting under the Divine as Sister Nightingale and liaison between the Divine and the Empress, and Ban Tigan Guerin, who acts as Ferelden's representative for Orlesian affairs. The first chapter. Celine is the Empress of Orlais, a highly regarded woman who is continuously shaping her nation to become the most cultured and intellectual hub in all of Thedas. She is a master of the game, an Orlesian way of life where sharp wit and tongue are more valued than the sword. Celine speaks and handles her royal obligations with profound finesse and detail. Her day begins with visiting Chancellor Henry Morag of the University of Orlais, a privileged place of learning for the nobility and sponsored commoners, in order to allow a brilliant elven man admission to the university. The case is not normally accepted due to the racism against elves that still propagates throughout the nation, but Celine rationalizes the university's necessary goals for culture and scholarship, so perversely that the Chancellor cannot object. A woman sent by the Divine under the code Nightingale is Celine's second encounter. Within a very brief conversation, Celine dissects the Nightingale's every subtle mannerism and micro-expression to reveal the truth behind her identity. She is Liliana, a previous bard under the mentorship of Marjolaine, and a hero of the Fifth Blight. After much poking and prodding, the 2 former bards make a deal, involving the Divine to make a public show addressing the Mage Templar conflict, in order to quell the troubled thoughts of the nobles of Orlais. Events shift to the royal palace, where Briala, the handmaiden and direct underling to the Empress, is overseeing preparations for a ball. After a bout of slurs and sexual harassment from the captain of the guard, Briala realizes a minor plot to unfold. The ball begins with the highest of nobility in attendance, including Duke Gaspard de Chalon and even Ban Tigan of Ferelden. In a mocking show, Gaspard and his bard, Melkinde, attempt to fool and embarrass Ban Tigan in front of the other nobles. Empress Celine steps in to alleviate the situation, ultimately diffusing it by a humorous plot, which ends in a feather duel and Gaspard humiliated. At night, Celine and Brielle privately spend time together to reflect on the day's events. With Gaspard's plans thwarted, the underling conspirators involved were handled, promptly by Brielle, of course. The two become intimate before the dark seeps in. That is the end of The Masked Empire, the first chapter. You can pre-order the book at the Amazon link in the description. It is available on Amazon, Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and other booksellers, releasing next month on April 8th. Thank you for watching. If you would like, leave your positive or negative thoughts in the description below. Take care. I will see you next time.